Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is a beer from Interboro. This is part of their new barrel-aged Ambassador Imperial Stout, so a blend of bourbon and rye barrels. But this is the cherry and orange version, so I will say this probably was not that popular. I assume a lot of people are more familiar with straight, regular barrel-aged Imperial Stout or coffee version, and so they found cherry and coffee to be a strange flavor profile. I'd say most people probably shook that off, but I'm curious to see what it tastes like. So beer comes in a very dark black color, medium to medium plus brown head. Let's get the aroma on this one. I will say I have this pretty much at cellar temperature. Didn't put it in the fridge. It's just pretty much in the garage. It's like reaching outdoors. So we're probably at 50 something, high 50s, 60 degrees, high 50s. But yeah, it mostly smells like the Imperial Stout. There's roast, there's a little bit of oak, a little bit of leaning towards a slight smokiness. Underneath it, I'm looking for it, and there's a light fruitiness driving in there, leaning towards zestiness and maybe a little bit of sweet maraschino, but hard to find. Cheers. Mostly the base Imperial Stout. The base barrel-aged Imperial Stout. Okay, wow. So you taste it on the palate. First off, this is really not very cherry and orange. So if you're worried about that flavor combination or whether this is a fruited barrel-aged Imperial Stout, don't worry about it. You're not getting that kind of Goose Island big jammy note or anything too aggressive. This is very much the base barrel-aged Imperial Stout, just as the nose said. But there is this kind of like oily, uplifting note of orange peel, the same way that you'd cut an orange peel to express onto a cocktail, an old-fashioned or something like that. It just has this kind of like lingering, lifting kind of thing on the palate. So the base barrel-aged Imperial Stout is almost all of this beer, but there is just a little bit of oiliness going on. You wait, and it hits there just right after the initial impression. It adds a little zesty zing. So same way that like you don't really have orange in a cocktail, it's sort of the aromatics that are tricking you that flavor is in it. It sort of just tricks you that there's a little bit of hint of orange here, but you're still drinking a boozy beverage, just like if you're having an old fashioned, you're still drinking pretty much all whiskey or rye, bourbon or rye, and you just get a little bit of orange in there. But yeah, it's there a little bit. The cherry, I would say, is very understated. Maybe it's hidden by the dark fruitiness of the base Imperial Stout. I have a hard time finding it. If anything, it's not remotely close to jamminess. It could possibly be that kind of, not even expensive maraschino cherries that you get from Italy, the cheaper ones that you get in cheaper bars, and with the Shirley Temple, that really bright red one. It has that kind of like light, not much kind of flavor, but just slightly sweet and candy-like. So maybe that candy flavor is playing in there, but mostly I get this like little zing of oiliness, but really pretty nice. I like the fact it's understated. I think there's a good diversity that you can do with additions of something like cherry and orange and other berries and whatnot. You don't have to push it all the way to 11. You could dial it back. You know, this is probably, if you wanted to count how much of the expression of the ingredients that they say is on the label. It's probably like a 3. Without knowing that it's in there, I would have a hard time figuring out that this was not a straight Imperial Stout. Granted, that kind of acidic, kind of like just oily flavor or essence of orange lingers there, so I'd probably think that there was something else going on. But outside of that, the cherry is hard to find, and maybe it's offering some sweetness, but really the base Imperial Stout really stands out. I think it's just as fun, just as good as the base, so let's go with a... Absolutely delicious. I'm loving it. Let's go with a 97 on this one. 97, barrel-aged Ambassador Imperial Stout brewed with cherry and orange. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.